Let's keep this one under the radar.
Hello, this is Abacus with the Spuff of Legend Crimefest 2017, the yearly 10-day event that Overkill throws to celebrate Payday 2 by releasing a bunch of free content. Just ended, and I personally really enjoyed Crimefest 2017. It was a little different than most of the other Crimefests because of the type of stuff that they added. A lot of the early days were focused on new players, probably because they just got a bunch of new players when they gave out, 5 million free copies of the game? But anyway, I'm really glad for the changes they gave to make it easier for those players. The new storyline is a new way to play Payday 2 where they have a bunch of they go over the plot to the game, why everything's happening, and to unlock additional parts of the storyline, you need to complete objectives like playing the early heists and completing the tutorial and equipping a perk deck and buying some skills. And any new players who follow through the tutorial will find themselves very well equipped to play the game with the veterans. So I think the storyline was a great idea. Also, they completely redid crime.net to make it a little bit more sensible, which is beneficial for both new users and veterans, because crime.net was so poorly set up at before. Everything was flung mishmash here and there, and every time they added new content, like gauge courier packages or side jobs or the safe house, they just found empty space on the crime.net screen and slapped it somewhere. So good on them for tightening it up, making it look a little bit more like a menu and less like a desktop after your coworker finds your computer and decides to shuffle the order, like just throwing your icons all over the screen. And that was just the first day. After they kept going, they added 2 new heists. Both heists have been slightly conscientious among the community, but I really want to step up and defend both of them. The first one, Alaskan Heist, people are criticizing for being too short, but I think that Payday has plenty of long heists, and I appreciated one that I could just bust out. And the map itself was pretty beautiful. I am not going to go into spoilers, by the way. There is a new not storyline as in the storyline mechanic, but there were actual updates to the Payday story, including a new traitor. But I'm not going to go into all of that because it's something for you to experience yourself. And that is what I'm kind of leading up to. If you haven't played Payday 2 yet, you really should. I know that in the past I criticized Payday 2. I said it wasn't as good as the first. I complained about a bunch of different elements. I have an article I wrote called Payday 2 and Things Lost in Translation. I'll link to it in the description, mostly because I think every single element of that has been addressed with these, over time. Some of them were addressed a long time ago, but in general, Payday 2 has really shaped itself up to be an amazing game in every way. The other heist that came out was Diamond Heist. It's what I'm playing in this footage. It is a remake of the old Diamond Heist from Payday the Heist, and I'm really impressed with how they managed to make it work stealth-wise, because the way that stealth worked in Payday the Heist, that heist, which was the only stealth-oriented heist in Payday 1, would absolutely not work in Payday 2. So they managed to find a way to make the stealth fair, but also give it that Payday 2 flavor, so that you can't easily just ECM rush the heist, because you probably won't be able to find the three laptops and 2 tablets in time, even if the entire team brings out max DCMs. And the other interesting thing about its design is that while you can stealth the Payday 2 heist in its entirety, after you get to the point where you break into the vault, in Payday the Heist, if you break into the vault and steal the gems, the alarm automatically goes off, and that's when it goes loud. In Payday 2 you can continue stealthing, and this is the part that people are complaining about, but the drop-off point where you have to deliver the diamonds you've stolen are wherever you started the heist. That could be anywhere on the first or second floor. The vault is on the ground floor. None of them are on the ground floor because you're in a skyscraper in the middle of the sky. But it's the lowest floor. So anyway, long story short, no matter what you do, I'd say it's like almost impossible without it being really frustrating to get your loot back to the place you're supposed to leave and escape without the alarm going off. And I think the reason Overkill did that, they are encouraging the player to go loud at that point, because if you loot the vault and then go loud, a zip line shows up on the helicopter pad, and it's right there. The helipad is right next to the vault, and you can lug your stuff over to the zip line and have a much easier heist of it. So I feel like that was a really nice touch if they did it intentionally to call back the original Diamond Heist, where it automatically went loud at this stage. But again, giving the players the option is a lot more like Payday 2, because Payday the Heist was so scripted. Everything happened when it was supposed to, and there wasn't that much variety, unlike in Payday 2, which tries to address multiple playstyles and branching paths and that sort of thing. Speaking of giving people choices, my personal favorite change that they made in this new Crimefest was the ability to change the color of your laser sights. In my last Payday video, I had a purple laser sight, but I had to get that using a mod. It was the only mod I had installed. And originally I was really sad when they added the mod filter into this new Crimefest 2017, because that means that players were going to filter out players using mods. That was going to include me, even though my only mod was changing the color of my laser sight. But now I can go mod-free, because you can change the color of your laser sight, you can change the saturation, you can change the intensity, and for the hell of it, you can also do all of that to your flashlight. Payday has so many different ways to customize your weapons to make them exactly what you want. They've got all the weapon mods that change the model, they've got weapon boost to nudge one stat that you kind of need a little bit more of, they've got weapon skins, they've got the ability to rename your weapons. There are just so many different ways to make the perfect weapon that feels like something that's really yours. In Payday, that it always bugged me that everybody was limited to the same green laser sight. So good on Overkill for finally doing probably the one thing I've been wanting since I started playing this game, which is customizable laser colors. Speaking of customizing your weapons, one of the other things that came out in this Crimefest 2017, every single day except the first one has a riddle hidden on its page for the Lock and Load website. And if you can find the riddle, it's pointing to a specific location. Each one is pointing to a specific location in a specific heist. And if you go find the folder that's hidden there, you unlock a new cosmetic-only weapon mod for a popular weapon, which I thought was a nice touch. It gives us all something to kind of rally around. I noticed that every time these new riddles were found, there'd be a thread and people on the Payday subreddit would all band together to try to figure it out, except for a few days where somebody got lucky and stumbled across it before the riddle even went live. The other major two things that came out in this Crimefest were 4 weapons, which I'm not going to talk about for very long, because I'm going to be honest, this one, well, that's probably the one I was most disappointed in. It was cool that they added a dual shotgun. We've never had a dual shotgun before, but dual shotguns in practice play very similar to regular shotguns, and all the weapons that came out this time around were pretty much just more options in weapon classes that we've had for ages. So there really wasn't anything to write home about. I haven't actually bothered to play with any of them. But I have been playing with Duke, the new hero who I'm playing as in this footage, because I really like him. A lot of people complained about him on the Payday subreddit. I mean, you might be noticing a theme here with this community. They didn't like how he was a little bit generic. He wasn't all crazy and off the wall like a lot of the more recent heisters that we've been getting, but that's exactly why I like him. He's very professional. I like his subdued but recognizable accent. I can only describe it as an American accent, but it's a pleasant accent to listen to. We aren't sure who the voice actor is because he's not showing up in the credits, but he did a very good job on this character. This character was actually won from a contest. I guess a bunch of people submitted community-made heister ideas, and this was the guy that won. His name was originally August. They renamed it to Duke. I have no strong opinion either way on the two names, but I really do think they did a good job in making Duke feel like something of an art aficionado and a professional heister. He just he has that professory vibe to him, and I think he really stands out from the other heisters in the personality that they gave him. So all things considered, very great Crimefest 2017. There's an AMA going on right now, right now with the developers. They said they're going to be answering questions for the next 2 days. If you have a question you really want to ask the developers of Payday 2, head on over to the our Payday subreddit, or I will provide a link in the description to the AMA. And keep those helmets flying. This is Abacus with the Spuff of Legend. Have a great day.
Not exactly textbook perfection, but who cares when it all works out?